Shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 back again for some DC reviews, and in these DC reviews I'll be covering Action Comics Superman issue 1080 by Mark Waid, and also New Gods by Ram V. I'll now get things ready and prepared for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In a lot of essence, no. To which I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I want to point out I will not be covering the backstory in this, as I do believe the backstory would be better suited in maybe the Supergirl or the Power Girl comic. Instead of in the Action Comics run by Superman, or with Superman. So now it's time to move into having a look around the beginning, middle, and end, internal art-wise, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we have Superman going planet to planet, helping to take care of the Kryptonians that have escaped the Phantom Zone, and of course causing havoc around the universe with the help of the members of the Superman family, as well as some members of the Justice League Unlimited. As we go a little bit further, we have the character of Supergirl confronting the members of Kandor in relation to the situation and what their thoughts are in relation to the events that are taking place, and if they will anyway help. We get to see quite a bit of action and activity as they take out many of the people who have been connected to the Phantom Zone, and also helping to bring a bit of peace to some of the places in the galaxy. And last but not least, we return to the original villain that sort of like made their part in this story, being Jadu, who was the ruler of the Etherealopolis in the Phantom Zone, and what he plans to do next, seeing that he has now escaped the Phantom Zone. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any comic book references to any of the previous issues or something that might be important in the story? The answer is no. Next is the area of time, to which we had 1 hour later being used. The locations, or some of the planets that we actually got to see within the story, we had Planet Grenda, New Fanaga, we had Corday, the moon itself, we had Corrigan, and also one of my terrible writing here, I'm not going to be able to get the name of the last couple of things that I wrote down. So I will move on to the next thing that I did manage to get down next, and that was the cast of characters that made an appearance. Of course, there was Clark Kent Superman. We also had Power Girl and many members that made up the Superman family, including Mon-El, John Kent, Connor Kent. We also saw Metamorpho, so some members connected to the Justice League. Aquaman, John Kent. I think it's Lana Lang. No, I don't think that's right. Someone else there that I have written terribly. But moving to the overall rating, I did quite enjoy the issues, which I gave it a 7 out of 10. I am looking forward to when this arc finishes, and I hope it ends up with a really good ending. So now it's time to move into Ram V's The New Gods, issue 1. So, moving into first things first, in relation to the New Gods, does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough, it does, to which we do get to see the character of the High Father, but we also get to meet some new characters as well, to which we don't fully see within this picture, to which I give the cover a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, but also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we get a bit of a backstory of some of the events that have taken place, and of course, within this, we actually get to see the source wall. Now, it's actually been a while since we've actually seen the source wall make its appearance once again in the DC universe. I think one of the last times I remember seeing the source wall must have been, I think it was Justice League Dark or Justice League Odyssey, around those, but that's quite a while ago. And then there was also the stuff that happened with the Dark Knights and the Dark Knights Death Metal, or Dark Knights Metal and Death Metal, of what we saw of it there, including in some of the small one-shots. Apart from that, it is sort of nice to see this be brought back into the story, but also how it plays it plays a part with what's happening now. As we start to move towards the middle of the book, I want to point out something. Scott Free's kid has been gender swapped. And this, I'm afraid to say, has lost a lot of points, because when we last saw Scott Free, he had a son. Not a daughter, a son. Now, there's no indication as to if that son is still around or not, where that son is, but it's also seemed to be indicating that maybe we're like typical DC right now. Let's gender swap every character. Let's race swap every character. Seriously, F off. Sick of this shit. If you want to lose money this way, keep going the direction you're going, because I'm the bastard who pays for it. And you lose my money, and if you lose my money, you go bankrupt. You lose contracts, you lose everything else. And of course, he gets a bit of a visit from Orion. We do actually get to meet some new characters, like in between, like the first couple of pages to this page. And I do like the introduction to these new characters. But when it comes to liking them, I'm not too sure yet. And finally, last but not least, towards the end, to which we notice that Scott Free has had to travel to India. And of course, we do get to see something in relation to this particular character, to which there's a prophecy about. I'm spoiling the prophecy. And it's the birth of a new god, care of Scott Free and Barter. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the internal story. So first things first is the area of time, to which we have a dwindling hour, which is something implying that time is running out. Then, of course, we have the locations consisting of the new... the source wall, New Genesis. We, of course, had Earth. We had India. We had California. And last but not least, India. I think I just brought that up before. Next is the cast of characters, to which we learn of Kayla and Light Ray. Now, these are some of the new characters that have been added into this. Then we've got Zaya, or Azaya. We, of course, meet the High Father. We do catch up with some original characters connected to this, being Metron, Orion, Barda, and Mr. Miracle. And, of course, their race-swapped original child, which was a male child, now being a female child, to which we have no idea what the hell their name is. Or not race-swapped, gender-swapped. To which I give this a 5.5 out of 10. If it's anything lower after I pick up the next issue, I ain't no longer picking up this series. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.